Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brendan Plays. This is Total Extreme Wrestling for our All Elite Wrestling save, and the AEW Road Rager PPV is today. It has all been leading to this Road Rager, the event where I guess we're going to emulate in some sort of way what's happened in real life with the Elite and CM Punk, where we will begin their suspensions of 3 months after this show. Malachi Black will be going as well, and we've just learned as well that apparently Buddy Matthews is leaving the company as well, or at least wants some time away. So yeah, there's gonna be a bit of a shakeup. We're losing quite a few names, which is rare because we've been gaining so many people along the way in this series. Now we're gonna have to start planning for a few different names leaving the company. So things are certainly changing, aren't they? All right, well, for this event we are currently in the Southwest, and we're only expected to get 8,000 fans for this pay-per-view, which we are selling it at a premium price for the tickets. So we could try and sell for, try and get more people in, or we could definitely try and get more of a premium sort of ticket. Looking at, just a normal amount, I mean, you could obviously make a lot more money with the premium, but, yeah, it's always that temptation to try and get more people in. Looking like we won't really get too much of a difference, or at least it's not showing the changes if we change the price point on it. So we might just kind of peel it back. Actually, you know what? Let's sell it at a premium. People want to come; they're going to pay top dollar to get in for this event. So we'll do a premium ticket because look, this is a pay-per-view. We can try and get as much money as we can. The thing about a minor pay-per-view like Road Rager is we're not trying to do a major broadcasting situation. We are going to just broadcast on Fight TV. Usually on our big 4 pay-per-views, we do the major, major pay-per-view distributor. And that usually leads to something like $600,000 in pay-per-view revenue. And you can see here in March, we had 83,000. So that was more of a minor pay-per-view. So that's the difference in the price point, because, I just don't think it's realistic to get, millions of, dollars of pay-per-view revenue from a minor show. Because I think this is like a secondary sort of pay-per-view. Because in real life, we don't have these pay-per-views. But in our game, we've changed it where we have major shows, minor shows. Similar to kind of the WWE setup. But yeah, so anyways, we'll try and make some money back from the premium ticket price point to recoup the cost from having, more of a secondary pay-per-view. But ladies and gentlemen, Road Rage is all booked. It is all ready to go. It's a 3-hour show. We're going to try and learn from our lessons not to go too long. We are going to start things off with a battle royal. So this was just a last-minute addition to the show, just to get everyone on the card in a sense. But the winner will get a TNT title match coming up on Dynamite, just to kind of give it some sort of purpose. So let's jump into it. So it's a 25-man over-the-top battle royal. Bowens, Cage, Matthews, Rhodes, Page, Uno, Cassidy, Hager, Lethal, Jeff Hardy, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Mark Wen, Matt Hardy, Matt Sydal, Max Caster, Orange Cassidy, Paul White, Scorpio Sky, Sean Spears, The Blade, The Butcher, Ishii, Tony Nese, and Trent, all in this match. 68 rated. Surprise winner, Brian Cage. I gave the win to Brian Cage. TNT Championship, Brian Cage versus Keith Lee. I just thought that could be a nice matchup. I just thought that could be a really good one-off match, a good, strong, solid match, a good win for Keith Lee. Elevates Brian Cage a little bit to get him back in the title hunt whilst we still kind of figure out what we're going to do with him. And I just didn't think there was really no one else in this match that would suit. I thought about Jeff Hardy, but I'm really... Jeff's frustrating me at the moment. So, yeah, went with Brian Cage as the winner. The final 4 were Jeff Hardy, Jungle Boy, Jay Lethal. Jeff was the last man eliminated, and Jungle Boy got the most eliminations. There you go. So 68 rated, not too bad. We kick off the main show with the fatal 4-way match. Miro, Page, Punk, Guevara, 84 rated. Best of the match was Sammy Guevara, 91. Miro and Adam Page, 83 apiece. Punk, of all people, the lowest of 79. In the end, Miro gets the win and he pins CM Punk. There you have it. So CM Punk gets pinned by Miro as a bit of a punishment. for what's gone down in the real, but we're going to emulate that in our game. So Miro gets a massive win. Punk kind of puts him over a little bit as a way to make Miro, you know, red hot coming out of this pay-per-view. We followed up with Miro continuing to attack CM Punk, and he targets his neck, and he ends up injuring CM Punk's neck. So we do a bit of an injury angle to get Punk off TV and to put Miro over big time. So really trying to reinforce Miro as the top dog. I think really at the moment he might be the top heel in the company. Yes, we've got, you know, Kenny Omega, and he's going to be gone. MJF, he's kind of not doing too much at the moment. Miro is getting a lot of TV time, a lot of focus, and he's pretty over. So Miro is right up there at the moment, which is really good for us. So trying to create a new star, I guess, or a big main event attraction out of Miro. Next up, Thunderstorm and the Inspiration had a 72 rated match. Cassie Lee. This is gotta be easily the best performance we've seen from a woman. 78. Eye candy, yes, but we had the queen of the eye candy in here, Cassie Lee, the new queen, and my god, did she deliver. 78. Holy, that is a huge match. Thunderstorm pick up the win. So we are building towards Thunderstorm versus Divinity. Normally I'd have the Inspiration win here, but because we need a new opponent for Divinity, we're going to try and build up Thunderstorm as a legit threat, and by doing this match, we get them a big win to try and build them to be the next contenders. Samoa Joe and Andrade had a 79 rated match for the All Atlantic Championship, the very first title defense for Andrade for the Atlantic title. Andrade 91, Samoa Joe 67, so nothing special from Joe. I think that's probably about what we expected, so I'm okay with that. Andrade was excellent though, 91. Yeah, look, the plan is to really make this belt Andrade's. Really just kind of hone him in as this great, you know, up-and-coming wrestler that's right there on the cusp of main event status, trying to have great matches with everyone all around the globe. That's kind of what this championship will be all about. And he's had a nice match here with Samoa Joe, so good stuff, 79. Mark Henry says Will Hobbs will be out for 6 months. And the Butcher and Blade interrupt and take credit for it. 45 rated. Yeah, I wanted to at least kind of follow up on the Will Hobbs situation. Gone for 6 months is huge. In the end, Blade got the win on that match. Now, I don't recall personally giving Blade the win. I might have accidentally done it, but it kind of works out okay. Now, I've been reading some things online. You know, what about the House of Black? What's going to happen with them? You know, now Malachi and Buddy Matthews both being gone, could Brody King transition into being the leader of the group, or at least kind of the staying member of the group, and putting the Butcher and Blade with them? And I thought to myself, well, Butcher and Blade are doing absolutely nothing. It could work. I mean, at least would give that group something, and we still keep a trio, because God knows we need it. We create a new trio, or at least replace the trio we're going to lose. The only thing would be is that Brody King would need to turn heel to do it, which I think you'd have to do. There's no way you could have Butcher and Blade as babyfaces. And they're coming off injuring Will Hobbs, so at least they've got some momentum coming out of it, so it could be a nice little thing low on the card just to keep everyone busy, you know, so it's an idea nonetheless. Moving on, TJ tried to win the championships back from Divinity. They lost though. It's the first defense for Divinity for the tag team championships, 57. Nyla Rose, 58. Mercedes, 51. Not an eye candy match, just a standard match for about 12 minutes long. A nice competitive back and forth match. TJ putting up a big fight, unable to get the job done though. So this will be the end of the feud. Divinity get the definitive win over TJ. So look, we're not going to break up TJ anytime soon. I still think they are one of our best teams. They've been a surprise, I think. If I look at the last 6 months of our save, I think the success of TJ has certainly surprised me, and it's been one of our best success stories, I guess. Because those girls were, you know, low 30s pop, if not in the 20s. Now they've risen up to around the 40 mark. and they've had a pretty good reign as tag team champions. Now it's time to let someone else have that opportunity, but I still think we'll keep TJ strong. There's obviously feuds we can still do, maybe with the baddies, you know, someone a little bit different. We could always go back to Super Bad as well. So still we'll keep them in the mix, but at the moment, no longer in the title hunt. Next up, Kenny Omega says he will leave everything he has in the ring tonight against Bryan Danielson, 80 rated for the promo. Bit of a hint of what is to perhaps come with Kenny Omega. Proud and Powerful and the Lucha Bros had a no DQ match for 81. Well, we thought coming into this pay-per-view that this was going to be the highlights of the show, and it was. Rey Fenix 88, Penta 85 was amazing. Ortiz 79, Santana the weak link though 70. There you go. So I'm thinking, you know, now it's one apiece. We gave the win to Proud and Powerful. The Lucha Bros won last time. They're one each. I'm thinking maybe like a TLC match to settle the score. I think that would be kind of appropriate. Some sort of, at least a ladder match. Something along those lines. Maybe definitely number one contendership situation where the winner gets the title shot against FTR, because we do need a new number one contender. So that could work. We could even do it on Dynamite and have the next pay-per-view for the tag championships, or we could stretch it out a little bit longer and maybe have FTR focus on something else for a month whilst these guys compete for the number one contendership. But 81, very good match. Jade Cargill and Paige Van Zandt had a 44 rated match. Look, that's probably about what I expected. Jade Cargill picks up the win, her 8th championship defense. Paige Van Zandt did her job. You know, she did the job. She lost to Jade, but she gave, you know, a decent match, a good quality opponent for Jade. You know, someone who's got a bit of reputation, and at least we got something out of Paige before she'll go away for her MMA fight. So, not much else to report there. Post-match, well, we knew Saraya is joining AEW now. As a recording this episode, I still don't know if she's going to wrestle or not. By the time this goes live, you guys will probably know. But as of right now recording, I don't know if Saraya's going to wrestle, but I'm assuming that she will, and she's going to confront Jade, who decides to step out of the ring. So Saraya debuts, very good for her gimmick. Look, if Saraya is going to wrestle, I definitely think giving her a run with the belt. She could be the one to beat Jade. She'd be our biggest star, premier attraction, and could really help elevate the women's division. I think it makes a lot of sense. It all depends though if she's going to wrestle. If she's not, well, then we can just scrap all this and maybe we'll have Saraya manage someone or a couple of people to try and maybe come after Jade. But yeah, 67 for the angle, good stuff. Hopefully it'll help elevate Saraya. I did knock back Saraya's popularity. She had 68, I put it back to 55. I just thought she had way too much. Ricky Starks and Keith Lee for the TNT Championship, 78 rated as Keith Lee makes it his 5th defense. Yeah, nice match here. We really wanted to give Ricky Starks a big opportunity on pay-per-view, and Keith Lee delivers again, 83 from him, Starks 67. Yeah, good overall match. 17 minutes, gave it some time, really solid match, back and forth, very competitive. Hopefully helps Ricky Starks long term, but yeah. You know, now that Powerhouse Hobbs is gone for 6 months, I feel like we might need to do something in the middle of the card, whether it be put Darby Allin in that middle of the card situation, or maybe even turn Ricky Starks as a babyface. Because we have some heels, we definitely do, but we just don't have many baby faces. So, yeah, something to certainly think about. But I think Starks is still in a good position. I still think he's got some value, but maybe a switch up might be needed. Post-match, Ricky Starks and Keith Lee shake hands. So I've given this as an angle, so I could kind of pretty much do what I want to do here. If we want to turn Starks face, well, we can have Taz be annoyed at Ricky Starks. Oh, why did you shake the hands of Keith Lee? We don't respect Keith Lee, etc. Or if we want to keep him heel, look, hey, you got the better of me tonight. I'll be the better man for tonight only, and I'll shake your hand, and we can move on, forget it happened, sort of thing. 72. So from 72 to 84 for this next segment, as Sting books the Blackpool Combat Club and the Undisputed Elite for the Trios Championship. So I needed to find a way to get all these stars on the card, and we did a backstage segment here where Sting, in his office, calls them all in and says, look, Trios Championship, we're going to crown a new winner between you two between these two teams and our next pay-per-view. So we've got something set in stone for the Trios Championship. I figured we'll get it out of the way early rather than, doing number one contendership matches. We'll book it now, and at least we can start building for it. We've got 4 weeks to kind of build towards it for our next pay-per-view, or maybe a bit longer, I'm not sure. But we've got the match set in stone, and we can just start going towards it from here. FTR versus the House of Black for the Tag Team Championships as FTR defend the belts for the first time. Now, we changed gears here. I put Brody King in this position rather than Darby Allin because I didn't want Darby Allin taking another loss, because I'm thinking of, having Darby Allin leave the House of Black and kind of go and do his own thing. Now, I booked this before I knew Buddy Matthews was going, so I could have put Buddy Matthews in this position as well and not had Brody King take the loss, but I thought, well, Brody King would make more sense to kind of have him in this match because they lost with their original pairing at the last pay-per-view. Now, at Double or Nothing, now, why don't we try something different? Why don't we have a different combination and see if that helps us beat FTR? Turns out it didn't, but that's storyline why they did the change. FTR, though, nice performance. Dax 75, Cash 77, an 81 overall match. Very, very well done between both teams, and that will be Malachi Black's last match in our save, I feel. I don't think he'll be back, so we had Malachi Black get pinned by Cash Wheeler to try and put over FTR big time here on the pay-per-view. We had a hype video for Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega, so getting ready for our main event. So not as long of a show, usually we got 4 hours, so just 3 hours here. So hopefully the main event match delivers. Everything so far has been pretty good, but we haven't had anything amazing yet, so nothing 85 plus. I think hopefully we can get that here with this main event. So the main event is 82. Oh boy. So once again, a misfire with Danielson and Omega. 26-minute match. Bryan Danielson picks up the win, winning the All Elite World Championship. The All Elite World Heavyweight Championship. So there you go. Bryan Danielson wins. Kenny Omega will now go serve his suspension. Now in the match, we had Kenny Omega sort of selling an injury. He gets an injury throughout it. The injury kind of holds him back. So at least it can give us a way to bring back Kenny and say, hey, you only beat me because I was hurt. Now can you beat me when I'm 100%? And we can kind of go from there. So they're one apiece. We've got the big setup for a rematch whenever we get Kenny Omega back. Maybe it won't be all out, will it? It might have to be full gear. Post-match, Bryan Danielson celebrates his title win whilst Kenny Omega has been helped to the back by the trainers due to injury. 81 rated for that. Yeah, so actually, it could have been a lot better, this card, and I think it's a slight disappointment. We had an 84 rated event, but I just felt like we didn't quite get enough. I just don't think it was that good. We just didn't have that one really standout match. I think the best match was the opener, the 84 rated four-way. We had a lot of good 80 rated matches, definitely had plenty of quality, but nothing that outstanding to really make this that super memorable. All right, let's take a look at the results for the Road Rager pay-per-view. We had 55,000 buys for the pay-per-view, so that's pretty low actually. Usually we get around 80 to 100 for these minor ones, so that's a pretty low one. But yeah, so a little disappointing, I would say. I think we could have done a little bit better than that. I think the overall Road Rager pay-per-view was good without being amazing. I definitely think it could have been a little bit stronger. A couple of popularity changes. CM Punk obviously took an L, and his popularity went from 85 to 83, so it's a slight drop. Miro has gone up to 84. Now, I feel like he was close to that anyways. No, actually, yeah, it was 81, now up to 84. So a few things to kind of note. When you have such a small viewership, it's going to be hard to get a lot of changes in the popularity. And we saw that with Malachi Black. So he had about 76 coming in the pay-per-view and still does. And even though, Cash Wheeler got the pin over him, he didn't really go up at all. Neither did Dax. So that small amount of viewership kind of impacts the potential for that growth. Kenny Omega, I think he had 85, so he did drop to 84. So a small little drop for him. But on the contrary, Bryan Danielson, he had 82 and really only in couple of areas did he go up, if at all. So no real change for him. But obviously Bryan Danielson starts his reign as the new world champion. I think we can definitely trust and rely on him to be a dependable champion for the time being. Now, long term, obviously, we were planning on having CM Punk beat Kenny Omega for the championship. That was the original plan. Now I've had to kind of pivot and change it to Danielson. So I'm guessing, you know, who's next? What are we going to maybe do? MJF for Bryan Danielson? You know, we'll have a look. Who can we really throw at Bryan Danielson? You know, we obviously have Miro. He won the 4-way, so he'll be the next guy. Do we give the belt to Miro? I mean, he's been pretty good. He's got this new manager in Ken Anderson. I feel like that could be too soon or too much of a risk. Adam Cole, we always could go to him. He's young. He's, you know, when he's healthy, he's good. In real life, I'm not too crash hot on him, but in our save, he's been pretty good. You know, the other option is Chris Jericho. I mean, he would be a natural, you know, feud for Danielson. Jericho's doing nothing. But Jericho's performance has been so poor that I don't know if he'll get a good match with Danielson. And obviously MJF is probably the big one. That's sort of something you would definitely go for at a full gear, potentially. You know, we've already given MJF 2 title runs in our save. Remember, he had the big feud with Jon Moxley, and then he was champion for a while until Cody Rhodes beat him for it. So we've done that before in our save. I'm a huge fan of MJF. He's my favorite wrestler in AEW, so he was always going to get a title run. But I feel like with MJF at the moment, I think it might be best for him just to keep building the pinnacle and just kind of have that really big super group around him. And maybe go for the trios, or, you know, keep his eye on the tag division. Wouldn't even hurt for him to maybe go for a secondary championship. I don't know. And let some other heels kind of shine instead. But yeah, we have to start definitely planning out what we're going to do. And as for the baby faces, well, we've got Adam Page still, who's taken some L's. You got Danielson, CM Punk's gone. Moxley, we still got him, but he'll be involved in the trios. Keith Lee, not quite there. We lose Malachi Black, and Sammy Guevara, he's had a lot of, you know, opportunities without that success. But it does look a little light on the heel side of on the face side of things. But the heel side of things is, a lot of them is made up of tag wrestlers. Like, for example, you got FTR and you got the Young Bucks there. You take them away, it's pretty even. Maybe slightly skewed towards the heel side in terms of big names. So that's always something you got to keep an eye on. All right, well, now it's time to invoke the suspensions for the Elite and CM Punk. This will hurt. This will sting. Absolutely. It's not something we want to do. It's not something that, you know, we ever plan on doing. It's going to be a bit of a sad time. But Kenny Omega, 3 months. Well, it's got to be paid, otherwise they're going to be so mad and probably quit. So 3 months paid, time off, can't undo it, done. 3 months off. God, that's not good. That is not good. I'm not happy about this. But the Young Bucks, it doesn't really matter if we lose them. They weren't really in the mix for anything. Like I said, the main thing that we had planned for the Young Bucks was probably a trio situation. But we lose that. And obviously, losing CM Punk is huge, because the plan was definitely to have him as the champion. But look, his performances haven't been amazing, so it's not the worst thing to kind of have him go away for a little bit. But hopefully, goes away, gets rejuvenated, and comes back better than ever if we are able to use him again. For Malachi Black, well, do we just straight up release him? I mean, he's got 7 months left on his contract. It would cost $450,000. I don't think we should lose money for him. I just think maybe again we send him away. Maybe give him, maybe we give him unpaid time off. No, we can't. Okay. Well, we'll give him a month off. We can't use him, and then until we figure out what's happening with him, he's gone. And I guess we'll do the same with Buddy Matthews as well. So we'll give him a month of time off. Now, he could come back to AEW. I don't know if he'd want to, but he'll be gone. So there we have it. We lose quite a few guys from our roster. So we might have to like really try and change gears and push someone. We've lost Hobbs, we've lost the Elite, we've lost Punk, we've lost pretty much the two best guys in the House of Black. Not that that's a huge deal, but all of a sudden, things aren't looking so great for us at the moment. We're coming off a good, but not amazing pay-per-view. So I have my concerns, I do. I think we're gonna have to certainly try something a little bit different coming up soon. You know, we've got new champions, as I said, new world champion, you know, still pretty fresh tag team champion and all Atlantic championships. The trio champions is coming, so yeah, I still think we're okay, but I'm still got some slight reservations about where we're headed. You know, our next pay-per-view is Fight for the Fallen, where I guess Miro and Bryan Danielson will be the headliner of that one. I think Miro has done a pretty good job. He's averaging 77 for his matches so far this year, and he's been pretty busy. He's had 18 matches since February, so we've been working him hard, and he's done a really good job, and I think he's ready to definitely take that championship, potentially from Bryan Danielson. It'll be the temptation will be there for sure. Danielson, on the other hand, averaging 79. I still feel like he's been a little underwhelming at times. You know, the last Omega and Danielson match did hit a 90, so to not get there is pretty disappointing. So hopefully we can bounce back and do better next time in the future. But ladies and gentlemen, that's Road Rager. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's hope we can do better next time. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on it and subscribe to see more. We'll be back with another one very soon.